Hi, Christina and Jeanette.
Hi.
Hi, Eva. Hi, Jeanette.
I wanted to review some key vocabulary words that I caught on the side looking at the book that we're going to be presenting, and it has some vocabulary words that I wanted to share with you for my preschool dual language classroom. And I will be presenting these to the kids in English and Spanish. And using these key vocabulary words, I can, build, the song and chant, poems, and then try to further make it go further and then do some extended activities. So what do you think about these vocabulary words that I chose today for the book? And I wanted to start off with the foundation, because the kids will be building from the foundation. And of course, there will be hearing building, structure, and try to incorporate some other words that they might be familiar with. And then when they see different type of buildings, and I can even go a little bit further and give them like skyscraper. If they ever decide to visit, a large city, they might see skyscrapers. Or even if they go downtown Fresno, they might see a taller building. We can refer that to as a skyscraper, especially because we work downtown. We could use one of those as an example, and it'd be more personal for the children as well. So I was thinking about incorporating these vocabulary words, and I usually try to do 5 a week. And, I will have them printed in written words and a picture form for the children. And I usually choose those 5 that I feel like, that would be good. And then, and of course, as it's ongoing, I can incorporate anything that they might, build any curiosity, want to learn some more. I can, also incorporate those too. Because I even thought about engineers, construction workers, even, simpler terms, builders. So the first intentional message that I thought would be good to kind of start off with, I would introduce to the kids those words and then say, today we will be engineers and build a foundation and using blocks. So my kids are a little older, they're 4 and 5 year olds, majority 4-year-olds, and then as a year progresses, some of them turn 5. So we have a little bit of older children. So I know some of them also have parents that are in this type of frame of work. So it could also bring in another dimension to the classroom. So I wanted to share that with you. What do you think about that?
That's
I like
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how you use the word engineer. You're giving them really like strong vocabulary words. That kind of like, what is an engineer?
Exactly.
What does it take to be an engineer? What is their role? And I think engineer is not a word I hear commonly.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're more the construction worker, but I think giving it a different name, like structure,
yes.
For my kids, a structure is a structure that they play on,
yes.
But expanding it, it's like a word can have so many meanings.
Exactly.
And you're giving them the opportunity to show like a different meaning to it as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeanette, for that feedback.
I like how you are relating it to the real community.
Yes.
With the buildings downtown, even our own beautiful building.
Oh,
I
yes,
could see
exactly.
that could, lead into a discussion about the different, the glass, the wood, the metal, the different
the
stories.
Windows and doors. And those are concepts that are, for the younger children, definitely you could, pinpoint, they know windows and doors. Those are like common words. And I know that with toddlers and infants, you could really, expand on that as well, like the size and shape of them as well as the preschool age too. So did you have any, like for toddlers, I'm curious, what intentional message do you think that you could develop, Jeanette, with that?
For me, I like the words construction worker for one. digging, and foundation and whole. And so I was thinking as an intentional message for one day, we could be like, today we're going to be construction workers. Let's start digging a hole to lay our foundation. And that kind of can be like one activity is has how we are learning about like, what is a foundation?
Yes, exactly.
And then it'll expand on like, what do construction workers do? Like, and then even that, we could expand on it in the sense of, if I'm trying to concentrate on the word foundation, we could say, today we're going to build a tower. Let's start with the foundation and kind of discuss like what a foundation is. That's our base, that's our strongest point, and there's so many ways that with a story that you can kind of go about kind of supporting those vocabulary words. And I know like for ours, I like to have a mixture of kind of like harder, vocabulary words with ones that are more familiar, like building, and whole, and then kind of adding, words that they may not commonly use, like foundation, or, how I was saying structure, like a structure to them is a structure we have in the room, but it could also mean something different, and kind of expanding their understanding of how words can have different meanings to it as well.
Great. You brought up some great points on the, the basics and giving them those, those simpler terms to go off of to build and then expand to that bigger word that we're trying to give them, that foundation, and taking it down to that, first, introducing it, and then, kind of incorporating our environment so it can definitely make some connection with them.
Yeah.
So that's great. I like how you formed your intentional messages, and I think that the kids will really definitely, be expanding their language and vocabulary and incorporating that word as they're speaking as well with their peers.
If I can interject, I think both of your intentional messages, are going to generate excitement, and that's really what the intentional message for. It's kind of like the hashtag, for the play that's going to follow. And I know for the younger toddlers, those anchor activities of actually, living out what the words are, like for Jeanette's, heading out to the playground or with a sensory tub of soil and actually digging the hole, that cause and effect. It really like cements the meaning, of what that word means. And then building the foundation, maybe like with popsicle sticks or, planks or tan bark, or, that really drives a lot of enthusiasm.